So it is 9. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Coffee with the Seniors. We will still wait a few more minutes. I still see people coming on. As we go, and I'll rely on the team to help me on that. I do want to keep the chat open for interaction, but we want to keep it positive and not having side conversations especially while the seniors are speaking. We will get started. I don't want to take too much time in terms of from me. I know we're here to hear from the seniors on their speeches. Just got to settle myself a little bit. This is one of my favorite times. Over this month of June, we're going to try to celebrate our seniors, and we're going to try to have these Saturday and coffee with our seniors for each weekend. This week we will have 3, but there's going to be 3 or 4 seniors each time as we go. And normally we'll give these at our swim-a-thon event. And for those of you that have seen it each year, these are one of my favorite things that we do each year. It's one of the highlights for the year. And in my mind, definitely one of the best things that we do to hear from our seniors, to hear them talk about their memories, to hear them talk about the life lessons that they've learned and the gratitude for everything, especially their amazing parents. It's just fun. It's a great experience. And this year is going to be a little bit different online, but I'm excited to hear from all of them. And I'm excited to still be able to hear that journey. And as we've said from the beginning, and as things start to open up here, we are still planning on trying to truly celebrate and get together to celebrate our seniors later in the summer. So keep alert for that to come as we start to have more information and we start to be able to come back together. We will look at planning that. But for now, I want to get to our seniors, since I know you're all here to listen to them and not me once again. So with our 14 seniors this week, we have 3 of them. First up will be Maya Wilson. Maya is a freestyle and butterflyer in the national group and is attending UCLA in the fall. So with that, Maya.
Hi everyone, I'm Maya Wilson and I've been on the team for about 12 years now. My older brothers joined Rose Bowl as high schoolers and I wanted to be part of it too. I remember sitting on the hill watching practice while I probably drove my mom crazy. Next thing you know it, I was circle swimming in Rosebud's freestyle backstroke group as a 5-year-old. This was right around the time of the 2008 Beijing Olympics, and my family still laughs at me because I wore 2 swim caps to my meets and did a big swinging stretch routine before my 50 free, before my 25 free, because I saw Phelps do it on TV. I didn't understand it then, and I still can't fully grasp it now, but reflecting on my time at Rose Bowl has shown me how much my family, especially my parents, has supported my passion all these years. First, there's driving me to practice, then there's driving me to morning practice, then there's waiting for my long hot tub shenanigans, and we can't forget about waiting for hours for me to swim at a swim meet, just for me to swim for a few seconds, unless of course I was swimming a mile, then they had to wait for me to almost die. I can't thank my parents enough for their love and support. I would also like to thank the Booster Club for all they do and all the fantastic events they plan. Without them, the Rose Bowl wouldn't be the place I've known to grow and love. Another special shout out to Mr. Cianaga and Mr. Kosick for donating their time and effort to this program because without them, we would be nowhere. Coach James, you were my first coach. Thank you for making swimming fun. Without your positivity, I may not have stuck with it. You instilled great fundamentals and work ethic in me. I love seeing little kids excited to swim at meets because I see myself in them. Thank you so much for developing my passion in the sport so much at a young age. Coach Christine, I started out with you when I was 7 years old, and I've had the honor of being coached by you for about 9 years. I can't explain how much I've learned and grown during my time with you. I was pushed to my limit and constantly tested. While I may not have liked it at times, you always knew and wanted the best for me. I look up to you and see you as a fantastic role model. I even dressed up as you for Halloween when I was in 3rd grade because I was so proud to have an Olympian as a coach. In my many years with you, I've learned grit, leadership, intensity, and endless lessons that I live through daily. Thank you for putting up with me. I wouldn't be the swimmer I am today without all the time you spent with me. And to Coach Jeff Klotz, While I only had you for a few months, I grew so much in your group. I moved to your group in the beginning of freshman year. It was a pivotal time for me in swimming and in life. It was a time when I took my biggest strides in my swimming career, physically and mentally. I was excited to train, not only because of the culture you created in the group, but the excitement and attitude you carried through each practice. My swimming broke new barriers. My attitude and outlook on the sport changed on a more positive note, and my life outside of swimming was filled with fun team bonding. Another reason why I appreciate Coach Jeff Klotz is because he asks how I'm doing and he means it. You care about the response I give and will do virtually anything to understand what I'm going through. Even when I wasn't in your group, you would talk to me when I seemed frazzled, answer any random questions I had about college, and even help me with homework during swim meets. This man has made an incredibly large impact on my life, and I seriously cannot thank him enough. Now moving to my current coaches, Coach Jeff Julian and Coach Caitlin. I spent my last few years on the team with Coach Jeff, and he has pushed me, strengthened me, and turned me into the swimmer I am today. I learned about my stroke, how to utilize my strengths, and where I can work on my weaknesses. Coach Jeff and Coach Caitlin have been with me for some of my greatest accomplishments, but also for some of my biggest upsets in the past year. With their combined positivity and drive, I accomplished some of my biggest goals in practices and in meets. But they've also seen me struggle with sickness and lack of motivation too. Instead of waiting these times out, they made an active effort to help me and show me my strengths despite how I saw myself. At our last meet, for example, I got vertigo on the last day. For those of you that don't know what this is or haven't experienced it, it's basically just extreme dizziness with a bit of nausea and a pinch of not being able to see anything at all. I decided to race with this just for fun and try and get a spot in finals. After I gained more than I wanted, they explained to me that they were still proud of me for trying to race, instead of being upset with me for the gain and loss like I was. It's times like these when I really appreciate having such positive and supportive coaches behind me. Thank you so much. And to all the coaches I didn't have, thank you for supporting this team. While I may not have had you directly, you still made an impact on my life in swimming. Whether it's a conversation on pool deck, a day that you coached me when somebody was out, or a time you looked out for me at a meet, thank you. There's no doubt in my mind that our coaching staff's positivity, growth mindset, and expertise has helped me achieve my goals and ultimately led me to swim at my dream college. Thank you for all that you have done. Now to my teammates. I wouldn't be here giving my speech today if it wasn't for you guys. The relationships I've built with my teammates are like no other. These people have seen me at my absolute worst, but also with my best and happiest self. They've seen blood, sweat, and tears. Hopefully more sweat than the other two, but nonetheless, they've seen it all. In and out of the water, these people push me the most. They motivate me when I'm not hitting pace. They talk to me when I don't see myself. They laugh with me when not all else fails. And they are the best friends I could ever ask for. A picture I often relate back to is a year ago at sectionals. I was the only person swimming 1,000 and the only event that day. Everyone could have relaxed and prepared for their events the next day, but instead they all lined up along the side of the pool and cheered for me the whole time. Unfortunately, around the 300 mark, my cap and goggles fell off. Obviously, at this point, I wasn't going to have the race any of us wanted, but they kept cheering for me all the way until I touched the wall in the end. The motivation I had to finish my race and to actually push through the race is all due to my teammates' backing. They are genuinely great people and the key ingredient in any athletic success. I hope I've been as good of a teammate as you guys were to me. I'd like to finish off with a quick reminder why we swim, a few memories and feelings I go back to whenever I'm doubting myself. So, out touching someone from another team, seeing that you sneaked into a final spot, racing and pushing your teammates during practice, finishing a set even though you thought it was virtually impossible, dropping time when you didn't feel like you were having a great race, looking up at the board and seeing that your hard work paid off, seeing your teammates cheer for you when you feel like dying, watching your teammates reach their goals, having starts and turns day for practice, actually hitting pace, hearing Papa Klotz tell a good old story, putting your face against the cool pool deck after a hard set. Those are just like things I love. Another thank you to the coaching staff for their tireless work and parents for giving up so much time. Go Rose Bowl. Thank you.
Phenomenal. Thank you, Maya. That was awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. Everybody is clapping. Next up, we will just go right into our next one. We will, at the end of this, have a Q&A session. So if you have questions, you'll be able to put those in the chat, and I will ask these three questions as they head off to their next steps and their next stages. But next up, we have Keane Alejandro, a breaststroker and IMer in the national group. He will be heading up where the air is rare and attending the Air Force Academy up in Colorado Springs. So with that, Keane, you are.
All right, thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yo, what's poppin'? My name right now to look at your screen and just appreciate my beautiful hair, because in a couple of weeks, it'll all be gone. Shout out to my bald boys. That is because I'll be attending the United States Air Force Academy. My major will be aeronautical engineering, which is just a fancy way to say science behind an airplane. My hope for the future is that I'll become a pilot. However, I'm not sure that's the best idea because I have glasses and I'm also deathly afraid of heights. But regardless, I'm looking forward to what the next chapter of my life holds. Anyways, I've been on Roseville for a little over a year now, and I've enjoyed every second of it. And of course, the improvements I've made as both a swimmer and as a person would have never happened without all of you. So I'm beyond grateful for this team. As I said, a little over a year ago, I switched teams and moved to Roseville, and it was the best decision I could have ever made. Ever since my first practice, my teammates welcomed me with open arms and made me feel as though I had been on the team for my entire life. My first time on the pool deck, I was just chilling on the great bench outside the boys' locker room when Danny Guy, who was Danny at the time, walked by and said, "What's up, Keane?" We dapped each other up, and then he bombed me out to the field for some ultimate. During the game, I was able to see the camaraderie between everyone in the group, which was astronomical. And witnessing Coach Jeff's passion in the game made me realize that I was a player. Were passionate about what they love and motivated to keep pushing through the toughest of times is something I've always valued in team. Seeing every single person in the group pour their heart out into this game of ultimate, including Coach Jeff, showed me that this group of athletes is prepared to give 110% on anything they do, inspiring me to keep that same energy for the rest of my time on Roseville and throughout my life. I was able to witness this energy again through each practice, but the energy went through the roof during our change of flag staff. Despite not being able to breathe the whole time, I enjoyed the hard times and good vibes everyone had throughout the whole trip. The hardworking environment and positivity I observed, even during the most difficult practices, inspired me to give my all during every single practice that I went to. Something that stood out to me was the resilience in all my teammates, but especially the youngest. Seeing my teammates who were only 13 or 14 years old hit personal bests during every single test that we did demonstrated how this team culture that radiated resiliency and commitment begins way before the national group. This just proves how amazing this team is on all levels, and how now is the time to start working hard or continue working hard no matter where you are in your process. Now, all these memories I had with the group and the unforgettable experiences I had on this team could not have been possible without the support I received from all those around me. To begin, my teammates, my homies, made every practice worthwhile through the good vibes they gave off. I would not have made it through each and every practice without the positivity I felt while being with such an amazing group of people. They made me look forward to going to any practice on any day, even if I knew it was going to be a tough practice on that day. So, for all of you that helped me get through, I would like to say thank you to the national group for making my time on Roseville so enjoyable. To continue, I would like to thank Coach Jeff and Coach Caitlin. You both helped me become the swimmer I am today and motivated me to push myself to new levels. Coach Jeff taught me to trust the process, even when I think I've hit a wall, because part of the process is enduring those ups and downs and learning to get through them. His dedication to the team and drive to make sure that we never forget about the small details makes him one of the most influential people I've ever met. So thank you. So thank you for all that you have done for the team and I, Coach Jeff. Coach Caitlin has always been there to keep the vibes of the group going, even though she has given us some really tough distance practices. One being that 400 IM for time at the end of a tough distance set, that one practice. I forgive you. Her psychological teachings have taught me to be more aware and in tune with my thoughts because they can have a big impact on how I perform both in and out of the pool. So thank you, Coach Caitlin, for the very good vibes. I'm beyond grateful for the support I received from both of them, and I will miss having you both as my coaches in the future. So for all that you have done for me, thank you, seriously. There are two people I would like to give a special shout out to because they have had a big impact on my personality today. I have known Alex and Danny since even before NAC in 2014. And although I only really started becoming really good friends with them this past year, their presence on the pool deck during meets and both their wild and likable attitudes have allowed me to adopt a more animated personality and positive outlook on life. Thank you, Danny and Alex, for the continued good vibes in the many years we have known each other. I would like to thank the boys for numerous late night gaming sessions. Many deep and meaningful conversations were held in the several hours at a time I spent playing with the homies during this quarantine. Thank you to Chris Ye, Cahill, Wide Dog, Igor, Kevin, and Danny again for the chill times. I'll never forget them. Finally, I would like to thank my family for all that they have done for me. Kaylin for keeping me on track when I stray from the right path and for being there to make me angry for no reason whatsoever. But thank you for being such a great brother, I guess. My dog Oreo for being there to lift my spirits whenever I thought I had a bad race or did bad on the test. Also being super cute. Finally, I would like to thank my parents. Obviously, I would not have been here, would not have been able to get here without them, but they did so much more than just be my parents. They were there to cheer me on at every swim meet, to drive me to 5 a.m. practices, to cook my favorite meal before I had a big race the next day, and to always support me no matter how I did. For that, I am so thankful. I love you so much, Mommy and Daddy. You're the best parents I could ask for. Well, just like that, my time here on Roseville has almost come to an end. I know I haven't been here the longest, but it feels like I have been a part of this team as long as anyone else. So you all taught me to love the process and be positive no matter what I am going through. I encourage you all to always work hard, have fun, and most importantly, always keep the good vibes rolling. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Keane. That was great. Big claps from the Circuit home. All right, awesome. Is Maya still here? Sorry. I'm not sure if Maya will be able to stay or not, but the seniors that will stay, we will do questions after this, but we have one more senior before we get to that. Rounding out the group will be Joseph Eck, a freestyler in the senior growth group. He will be attending the Texas Christian University, TCU, in the fall. So with that, Joseph.
Thank you, Coach Jeff. Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph, and I'm happy to be sharing my senior speech with you all today. For me, Rose Bowl has always been a place that fostered a team mindset, a place I met my best friends and coaches, and an environment that gave me the ability to face any obstacle in my path. 4 years ago, I joined the best team out there and learned to grow stronger through my process every day in practice. I remember my very first coach at Rose Bowl was Coach Cameron, who showed me not only how to swim from a technical perspective, but he showed me how to truly enjoy the sport of swimming. One of my fondest memories about Coach Cameron was when he asked our group for written goal letters during my first week ever on the club team. I remember writing him some pretty big goals about plans I had to drop lots of time in certain events and move up multiple groups in 1 year. He was pretty shocked that I would write goals that big, considering I had only been swimming on a club team for 1 week. However, he always encouraged me to never lose sight of those goals as he pushed us every day in practice. After spending countless hours training throughout the years, I can confidently say that Coach Cameron is one of the best coaches, mentors, and individuals I've met. He is truly the first person who inspired me to love the sport and work hard in every aspect of it. The next person I want to thank is Coach Annika. Although I only spent a short amount of time in her group, she showed me the power of working hard in swimming and, most importantly, learning to manage my tough academics and extracurricular activities. She is a remarkable coach and one that I will never forget. Thank you for all those I Am Set drills, Coach Annika. When I joined Coach Jeff's class group, I had no idea how hard and challenging it would be. Coach Jeff taught me and our group how the little aspects of our swimming greatly impacted our overall sport. He showed and taught me new ways of looking at swimming entirely and how the sport that we do translates into the valuable life lessons that are crucial in today's world. I will always remember Coach Jeff's jokes, sayings, and the ways in which he inspired the group to reach for our personal goals. Thank you, Coach Jeff. I also want to give a shout out to Muscle Mike, who not only showed us the importance of weight training and how pertinent it was to swimming, but also the valuable life lessons he shared with us during the time we had with him. I would also like to recognize my parents, the rest of the coaches, the meet officials, and everyone who came together as a team for the sport we love so much. So thank you, Mom and Dad, who used to wake up at the crack of dawn to take me to meets, find the best places to eat after a swim meet, and supporting me through my swimming career. I will always remember your love and dedication to the sport I chose. I will never forget the many ways you went out of your way to help me succeed in something I love so much. Thank you, Rose Bowl coaches, for your support and dedication, and for choosing to invest in all our swimmers and training us up not only in swim, but in preparing us with essential life lessons we will carry with us for all time. Thank you to all the meet officials and Rose Bowl parents who ran the show. You are the heroes who allowed us to compete and the ones who gave us the opportunities and support to carry out our dreams. Lastly, but not least, I want to thank all my great teammates and swimmers that I've met throughout my 4 years at Rose Bowl. Teammates who helped create some of my greatest memories during my swimming time. I don't think I would have been able to work as hard and enjoy what I do if it was not for them. They're the people who enjoyed waking up to go to 5 a.m. morning practices and to swim in freezing cold water at championship meets. They are the teammates that inspired me to grow as an individual, to learn from my mistakes, and to keep persevering in everything I do. I will always remember the fun times we had, such as pushing each other every day through hard sets, screaming out our lungs during relays, stealing and sharing each other's food at swim meets, hiding in the back of the lane line when our coach told us we're doing multiple 200 flash in the block, even though we knew we were still going to have to do it anyway, celebrating each other's birthdays, throwing cake everywhere during team bonding, late night drives, hanging out at each other's homes, and laughing until we couldn't anymore. These are the memories I will always cherish and carry throughout my life. So thank you, all of you, my closest friends at Rose Bowl, who allowed me to grow and aspire for the goals I set in practice and beyond. Although it saddens me, I will not be continuing to swim in college. I am proud to be able to carry with me the valuable advice from my coaches, the strength of my teammates, and the important life lessons I learned throughout my time at Rose Bowl. Thank you, and go Rose Bowl.
Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. Wow, that was phenomenal. All three of them, what a great way to start our celebration and coffee with seniors. I do want to kind of open it up for Q&A. I know Maya might have to leave a little bit. She has ceremonies and stuff today, right? Graduation? Very cool. So I understand if you have to leave or anything. But if we have questions for anybody, I have gotten a couple sent to me to start off. Given the situation, obviously a lot of things are going to be a little bit different. Keane, you normally have basic training around this time, I would think, right? Or coming up soon, I guess, at the end of the month. What is the plan for you?
Yeah, it's coming the 24th. I fly out the 24th and it starts the 25th, and it's 6 weeks of basic training.
Okay,
And
so it's ready to go, right?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're still on time, I guess. No, nothing's delayed, nothing's pushed back yet. So
Okay.
looking forward to it.
All right. They'll just distance people and get you guys trained, I guess. Good. What about our colleges? Have we heard anything in terms of the fall for either UCLA or TCU? Not yet.
I haven't really heard anything. They're hoping that they can get the athletes back so that they can like train and stuff. And I was supposed to go to Hawaii for a training trip for preseason, but I don't think that's happening anymore.
Oh, bummer. Maybe they'll just put it another time. I don't want to spend too much time on this time, but I have to say I'm tremendously impressed by how all of our summers are handling everything that's been going on and being held out from something that all of you guys truly love, and missing some things along the way. How can you guys share anything with your teammates of how you've kind of gotten through things and stayed motivated and driven through this time, even with the ups and downs?
Yeah, I could go first. For me, what's helped is like a schedule. I'll try to keep my schedule and plan to wake up at a certain time and do all of like my things I would usually be doing. That's helped. And then I think the big thing that's helped a lot was my teammates, knowing that even though we're separated, we can either FaceTime or call each other, and we know we're still working just as hard as we would be if we were in practice. So that's been a big factor for me.
Awesome. Maya or Keane?
A thing that
I'll
I've
go.
done. Oh.
Go ahead. Sorry.
A thing that I've done that's helped a lot is FaceTiming my teammates. It's really good to have people to talk to during this time because you aren't as social as you would be. And I really like talking to them either before practice or after practice and seeing what we like thought of it and stuff like that. The Zoom calls also really help.
Awesome.
So like just like Joseph said, keeping a schedule, because obviously at the academy it's very to the point. So keeping a schedule just keeps me in line, and makes me think about what I have to do when I do it at the academy, like waking up at 6 to run or doing double workouts, even if it's after our team workout on Zoom. It just keeps me motivated, kind of, because I don't know. I like working out, and I do miss seeing the boys and seeing them struggle, because when I see them struggle, it just motivates me to encourage them and motivates me to work harder. So
awesome. I love it.
Just talking with my teammates too and FaceTiming them.
Cool. With college and getting away from the changes, what are you most excited about as you head off to a new journey and head off to college, or the academy or anything? What are you guys most excited about just in general?
I'm excited to learn how to do things by myself. I feel like I've always had like a group of people backing me, whether it's my parents or like just friends that always help me. I'm going to be able to like do everything by myself and try to find like a pattern that works for me.
That's awesome. I love it.
For me, I think I'm most excited about just going to a new place. I've actually never been to Texas, so I'm pretty excited to start going there and check it out.
All right. Awesome. Keane, what are you excited about the academy?
I'm really, yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember my speech, but I'm definitely afraid of heights. So one of the classes at the academy is free falling or free diving, parachuting basically. And I get to do that after my freshman year. So that's definitely one of the main things that's motivating me to, not motivating me, but really caught my eye about the academy. It's just being in the air and falling by yourself. It's just really so scary to me, but it's also so exhilarating. Like I might die, but it's also like I'm 40,000 feet in the air. Not, I don't know, but it's just so exciting. I don't know. Being high.
Talk
in
about
sky.
chasing your fears.
Yeah.
there was for your swimming now, what do you remember as your hardest sets that you've done? Anything pop into mind?
Probably.
There's I don't know what it's called, but I'll go.
You guys can jump. I always found that question.
Okay, I'll just say mine. Okay.
Especially since we don't do repeat sets of difficulty all that often. We will mix things up of how we get it done, so it's harder to remember those. But I'm also just buying you guys a little time to think through this.
Well, I was thinking of it's a set where we do the 300s. It was 4 300s fast. I forget, but that was probably one of the most difficult ones for me because I've always had knee issues. So doing those 4 300s fast breaststroke were quite difficult at times. I just had to keep pushing through because I knew if my teammates could do it, then I could do it.
I like that set.
I think mine would have to be the New Year's Eve 100 hundreds.
Yeah.
It's like very long and just a bunch of really hard main sets all in the same day.
Yeah, that's pretty much taking the that quantity effect and putting all the quality we want to in it.
Yeah.
You guys do an impressive job on that day.
I think for me,
Joseph,
one of the hardest sets I think that I can remember is with Coach Jeff. We did 200s and fly or 100s breaststroke all out from the blocks at the end of practice. And I think that was pretty hard. It was just mentally exhausting as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Cool. Do you guys have a favorite? I won't say the favorite or your favorite, but a favorite Rose Bowl memory you want to share that wasn't necessarily shared in one of your talks?
Yeah, I have one actually that comes to mind.
Go for it.
I think during a championship meet, I think if last year Pack Champs, all the guys just huddling around the heaters at night before relays. We're all just shivering and cold after days of just swimming back and forth. I think it's Sunday night, the last day before we go home, and we're kind of just all talking, and we're at our like mental break, but we're just so excited and pumped to just do relays, and just huddling around that heater, just like talking about like random things here and there. It's just like something I'll never forget.
That's cool. Yeah, no, those are the memories that we often remember.
I think mine would have to be watching Jung Min get her Winter Juniors cut. It was like the last meet, and she had tried to get it a few times during the meet and at meets before it. And she ended up getting it in the 200 free at the start of her mile. And everybody was done with the meet about like an hour beforehand, but we all stayed to watch her and cheer her on. And it was so fun because it was kind of empty at that point, and we all ran along the side of the pool with her, and like even Coach Caitlin was doing it, and it was just like so great to see her actually get it. That was probably the best.
That's awesome. Love it.
I'd say mine would be sectionals this year. Not particularly my racing because I was out of sectionals this year because of my shoulder, but just the energy the whole group gave off. It was just so positive and so encouraging. I really enjoyed just hanging out with the team at that time. It was really such a fun time.
Well, awesome. Hey, I thank all three of you. You really did a phenomenal job this morning on your speeches. Thank you for sharing everything that you shared, and thank you for being such invaluable members of our team, no matter if it's only just over a year for Keane or the years and years spent between Maya and then Joseph on the team as well. Thank you all, and thank you for sharing it. I do really enjoy this, and you guys started us off perfectly. So without anything else, I thank you guys all, and go Rose Bowl.